Writers don't all build stories the same way. Some of us start from emotion, chasing truth and human moments. Others start from structure, shaping meaning, cause and effect, and momentum. And underneath all of that, each writer has invisible strengths and invisible blind spots. This isn't just style, it's how your brain is wired to build story. Before we look at any data, there's one thing to get straight. Most writing strengths don't compete with each other. You can be strong in several areas at once, but there is one split that's either or. Your brain can run in emotion-first mode or structure-first mode, but not both at the same time. When one system comes online, the other gets pushed into the background. Take Charlie Kaufman. He's a classic feeling-dominant, emotion-first writer. Across Adaptation, Synecdoche, New York, and Eternal Sunshine, his scores spike in dialogue, character, and emotional impact. He's less interested in conventional pacing and overt conflict. His stories breathe from the inside out. They live in inner life, not in plot machinery. Now compare that to James Cameron, a thinking-dominant, structure-first writer. In Avatar, Terminator 2, and True Lies, the highs move to pacing, conflict, and overall engagement. Dialogue and character depth sit lower, but the external architecture is incredibly strong. Where Kaufman is excavating inner worlds, Cameron is engineering cause and effect machines that move. So why do Kaufman and Cameron look so different? An emotion-first writer like Kaufman feels into meaning and human complexity first, then builds structure around those themes. A structure-first writer like Cameron sees variations of plot, stakes, and timeline first, then layers emotion on top. Same craft, same medium, but their brains enter the story from opposite doors. Christopher Nolan is another structure-first example. In films like Inception and The Dark Knight, his strengths cluster around concept, pacing, and causal logic. He designs rules, puzzles, and timelines, then threads character and feeling through that framework. Dialogue warmth and intimate character work often sit a step behind the architecture. Aaron Sorkin is also thinking dominant, but his engine is different. In A Few Good Men and The Social Network, dialogue, conflict, and engagement are sky high. His stories think in sentences. Ideas collide through language faster than feelings can settle. Character depth and emotional impact lag a bit behind the verbal velocity. Once you start looking, you see this everywhere. Get Out, Rambo, Jojo Rabbit, The Matrix, Good Will Hunting, Her. Each script leaves its own radar fingerprint, its own pattern of, this is what my brain builds easily, and this is what it forgets to do. The point isn't good or bad, it's we all have a pattern. When we analyzed hundreds of new writers, a sharp split appeared. Beginner NFs, the emotion-first crowd, tend to score high in dialogue, characters, and emotional impact, but lower in conflict and pacing. Beginner NTs, structure first, spike in structure, story-forward momentum, unpredictability, and suspense, but often lag in emotional impact. So, what is a blind spot really? It's not a moral failing or a lack of talent. Your brain simply highlights one side of the storytelling spectrum, and the other side becomes harder to generate on command. A blind spot is the part of craft your brain doesn't produce automatically, the part you have to consciously study and train. That's why talent isn't the real barrier here. Your default network is. As long as you always write from the same system, emotion first or structure first, the other one stays underused. Awareness is the first step to bringing that suppressed system online.
Imagine your writing if you grew the side you usually suppress. If you're emotion first, what happens when you deliberately train structure? If you're structure first, What happens when you deliberately train feeling? If you want to see more of these fingerprints, you can explore radar maps and full analyses for every Oscar-winning screenplay since 2013. So, which side of your storytelling brain do you want to grow next?